Fight fans, buckle up. Conor McGregor maps a 6-month operation for the White House. Conor McGregor says the comeback is a project, not a promise.
It can ignite a support for the people of Ireland.
Is this a done deal?
Because we need.
Are you definitely? Is this a done deal? You're in.
Done
you made
deal,
a deal,
signed, delivered. It ain't a negotiation.
Wow.
It's a done deal, signed, delivered. McGregor will compete in the White House for UFC's 200 for the America's 250th birthday.
Did you talk to Dana about it? Dana's got to sign off, I would imagine. No.
Me and Dana are in constant communications. We've done incredible business together. I'm the highest generating fighter of all time in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. They've just signed a breathtaking deal with Paramount where we go to cable TV. $7.7 billion that deal was accrued for, and ready to rock, baby. Bring in the big dog, the Mac G.
8 months out, he is calling it a 6-month operation built on isolation, structure, and shutting the phone off while he rebuilds toward 2026. The target is the White House card, and the dance partner he keeps naming is Michael Chandler. Bare knuckle still tempts him as a promoter-owner competitor, but not before the UFC return that has waited since 2021 when his leg gave way against Dustin Poirier and a broken toe later derailed the Chandler date. The business map has moved under his feet too. With the UFC shifting to Paramount, there is no classic pay-per-view backend to lean on, which means performance and audience gravity need to carry the load more than ever. That is why the language sounds different. He calls it a 6-month operation because the stakes are reputation, economics, and legacy all at once. The BKFC talk can wait. For now, it is road work, rounds, and a camp that eats the calendar. If the White House card lands, who should McGregor face and at what weight? Tell me your pick in the comments, then hit subscribe and tap the bell so you are here when contracts turn into walkouts. Qatar books real consequence at lightweight and welterweight. Qatar just locked a main event that reads like a ranking recalibration. Arman Tsarukyan versus Dan Hooker.
We are headed to Doha, Qatar, November 22nd at the ABHA Arena. And the main event will be the number 2 ranked lightweight contender, Arman Tsarukyan, taking on number 6 ranked Dan Hooker. And as you know, Arman won 9 of his last 10 fights. He's got wins over Oliveira, Dariush. He's on a 4-fight win streak. The guy is a dangerous dude. He's taking on Dan Hooker, whom you guys love. And he's always looking for a finish, always in there to dog it out and fight his ass off. One of the most beloved guys in the sport. He's on a 3-fight win streak.
Tsarukyan's year has been a seesaw of almosts. He climbed to a title shot, withdrew 48 hours out with a back issue, and kept his competitive edge sharp with a grappling main event where he choked Benson Henderson unconscious. His best game is not just top time, but entry tax. He makes you pay for posture, breaks your stance, and turns mat returns into minutes. Hooker's road back has been patience, rehab, and a reminder in Perth that he can still thread a split decision against elite opposition. The question in November is timing. If Hooker's jab and teeps set distance early, Arman's second and third efforts get expensive. If Tsarukyan clears wrists and chains returns in the first 10 minutes, Hooker's counters arrive late and tired. Winner leaves with leverage loud enough to sit in the on-deck circle when the title picture moves again. That same night, the co-main is pure control versus ambition.
Co-main event is going to be former champ and number 1 ranked contender Belal Muhammad taking on the number 6 ranked Ian Gary. Muhammad went on an 11-fight win streak to earn the welterweight title, and he's looking to get back with a win over Gary. Now, Gary coming off an impressive win over Carlos Pradas. He has become that guy that is literally down to fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. Every time we call him, he takes a fight, doesn't give a shit who the opponent is. So there you have it. November 22nd at the ABHA Arena in Doha, Qatar. Our first time ever there. I'll be there. I'll see you there. Tickets are on sale Friday on the Platinum list. All right? All right, have a great day, everybody. Good talking to you.
Belal Muhammad is the picture of difficult. He does not donate reads. He stacks safe minutes and drags you into the kind of rounds judges like but opponents hate. Ian Machado, Gary has to make those safe minutes unsafe. That means exits that punish, counters that sting, and footwork that refuses cage pins. Bilal's path is to erase real estate and make the fight live on the black lines. Gary's path is to keep the logo under his feet and convince the room he is landing the cleaner work. The title lane at welterweight is a moving highway. This result slots either man one phone call away when timing luck and matchmaking math line up. Wanderlei Silva moves from viral clip to courtroom. What happened in São Paulo is now evidence and medical charts. Wanderlei Silva says he suffered fractures to both orbital bones and a nose broken in multiple places after being struck during the post-fight melee that followed his disqualification against Aquilino Freitas. He calls it a criminal act and says he will sue Rafael Freitas, the boxer's son who entered the ring and threw the shots that left Silva unconscious. The commission suspended both fighters for 180 days. The attacker was not a licensed corner and was not sanctioned by the body, though a broader ban from events is being recommended. Freitas' side frames it as legitimate defense in chaos. Silva's side calls it a cowardly blindside and points to thin event security as a root cause. Beyond the headlines sits the larger caution. If crossover shows want legends and novelty, the guardrails have to be built like a pay-per-view main event. Ringside control is not optional. The footage turned stomachs because it felt like the exact scenario that safety protocols are designed to prevent. Magomed Ankalaev pushes back and raises the stakes. Magomed Ankalaev hears the talk about Performance Institute doors and who did or did not hide. He says it is fiction. His version is simple. He finished procedures, saw Pereira with his team, stepped over, and asked why the story was told that way.
When I heard that that's what he said, I was perplexed. I was confused. Why would he even say that? If you look at the last fight, I bullied him in the fight. I pressured him. He was running away from me the entire fight. I won the fight. I became the champion. So why would I be hiding from him? So when I saw the statement that that's what he said, that I hid from him, I just wanted to understand from his mouth, what is it? Why is it that he said that? So I found out what times he's there, like what time he usually comes to the PI. I went and I had a procedure done, and then I walked out, and there he was with his team. And I asked him, I said, "You were looking for me? You said I was hiding? Well, here I am. You found me. So why were you saying that?" And then he couldn't really explain himself. Then he started doing all sorts of I don't know, the lady said, the girl said, somebody said. And I didn't even care to listen to any of that explanation because there I was confronting him right in front of his face, and he had no answer for why he told everybody that I was hiding from him.
Alex said on Monday that this whole situation proves that you are not the one on social media crafting your tweets, that you're not actually saying what is being said on the Big Ank Twitter account. What is your response to that?
I don't know what he's referring to because I'm constantly in communication with my manager, Ali. We always talk about things. If somebody's throwing a challenge out or if somebody says something in my direction, we discuss it, we hash it out, and we figure out what we have to write, and then he puts it into a tweet. Never has he ever written anything without my consent. We're constantly in communication, so there's not one tweet, not one writing that came out that I wasn't aware of that was done behind my back. We always do stuff together.
He did not like the answer because there was not one. He also did not like the suggestion that his tweets are ghost-written out of character. He says the messages go out after he and his manager agree on what to say and why. None of this lives in a vacuum. It feeds a rematch pitched as a verdict, not a rerun. Ankalaev views the belt as a hunt that runs through him and says this one will be ruthless, with both sides chasing a finish to close the chapter in ink. Pereira has hinted at the effort it takes to make 205 at this stage, and that urgency colors every second. If he regains the title, heavyweight becomes more than a tease. If he misses, the path forward changes shape and pace. Either way, the first 5 minutes will tell you if range belongs to Pereira's feet or Ankalaev's pressure. The rest of the night will follow that map. Momentum threads that tie the slate together. Look across the board and the same theme shows up: stakes management. McGregor is engineering solitude and structure because a novelty venue doubles as a reputational amplifier. Tsarukyan and Hooker both know Qatar is not just a booking, it is a lever for the title machine. Bilal and Gary are fighting a chess match where every step matters more than any single punch. Silva's case forces promotions to take security as seriously as sales. Ankalaev is policing narrative because champions without arguments are harder to move on. All of it lives under the shadow of a broadcast shift where pay-per-view math gives way to platform gravity. That is why the language is about operations, not vibes. That is why the schedules look like strategies, not dates. The week is heavy on promise and light on fluff. McGregor's 6-month plan puts a clock on a comeback that will define a broadcast era. Qatar offers a main event that can flip a board and a co-main that tests how much control can bend under speed. Brazil's fallout is a hard lesson wrapped in a lawsuit. Vegas has a rematch that wants closure more than conversation. Your turn. McGregor says 6 months of isolation is the path. Do you buy it? And do you prefer Chandler or a different opponent for the White House stage? Drop your take below, then subscribe and tap the bell so you are here when the next chapter lands.